an intimate conversation, an inspiring presentation with someone who's come from a long way away. Please join me in welcoming the ever-lovely, the ever-elegant Victoria Selenko. Victoria is one of the leading alternative funding experts from the United States, an economist turned entrepreneur, an advisor known for being at the forefront of next generation impact-driven venture financing models. In the new digital era, you need her phone number. Recognized worldwide as an entrepreneurial ambassador, Victoria is a prominent voice in the entrepreneurial community focusing on modern capital formation issues, including money, crowdfunding, venture capital, and new tools enabled by blockchain. Presenting to you the one and only Victoria. It's an honor. And she promised tomorrow we're going to see her in a sari. Yes?
Wow, okay, no pressure, yeah. Oh my God, who is this woman? I want to meet her as well, so thank you so much. Wow, this is my very first time in India, and I am just amazed. It took me actually 3 countries to fly through to get here, so... Los Angeles, Frankfurt, Moscow, Almaty, and Almaty, Delhi. Yeah, actually it's interesting that the closest flight routine from Los Angeles was via Moscow, where I basically pick my mom. She's Russian. And so we represent basically that US/Russian, uniting. I would say, entrepreneurship unites. So my name is Victoria Solchenko, and oh my God, I've been listening to every lady here, and I actually told my mom, I'm like, Mom, I'm not sure why I'm here. Everyone is so great, and I'm just feeling completely, just someone who do not deserve it. And then I was thinking, this is actually very family psychological thinking. We think a lot that, we just do not deserve, we are just not good enough. I'm an economist by education. And, I'm like a rock star now, I'm feeling like. I'm an economist by education, but recently I actually started to also study psychology because I'm realizing that there is more psychology in the, current business world than even, something related to economics and finance. My story, I was born in Russia. Actually, I was born in Siberia. So moved to Moscow and got my primary education there. I am, if anyone knows the story of Soviet Union, I'm basically belong to Perestroika generation. That's basically the first generation that didn't have to study communism, we study market economy. And when I moved to the United States, I was fortunate to work actually with 2 pretty famous people in finance and economics. Is Dr. Arthur Laffer and Michael Milken. He is famous in financial markets. And now as I live in Los Angeles, I love this era of creativity because I literally don't know one single person who wouldn't write whether his book, her book, or a screenplay, or worked on a startup. I have to admit that I've never been a fan of segregating women into a separate group when it goes to business. One of my favorite quotes is the one by Voltaire, and he was saying that when it goes to a question of money, there is no religion. Everyone is of the same religion. I would say everyone is on the same gender. What basically is interesting that why we are still not as strong as men are when it goes to building companies, right? Because we keep hearing interesting stories about, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and so on. So I started to really dig deep into the question. I have my consulting company, and basically what we do, we develop business plans and investment presentations for people who are trying to get money from venture capital and angel investors. And at some point, I became very interested in a new financing tool. It's called crowdfunding. And actually, tomorrow at 10 a.m., I have a workshop. I would love you guys to come, and I'm going to share with you some very interesting actually tips that you literally can utilize, right after workshop. So today I just wanted to, okay, here is basically, I do consulting and also do my conferences, so you see, it's kind of like a small picture, but this kind of my baby, the conference that I'm doing in Los Angeles, and, okay, let me just try to figure out how, guys, I just can't, where do I, another psychological thing that I learned is that psychologists say that male are good in things and women are good in people. So this is just a proof. I'm really bad in things. Men are probably better in things. We are better, with people. And what I'm trying to say is that women are actually opening businesses related more to people relationships. If you think about, and I was listening basically lots of ladies, we like businesses in PR, we like businesses in education, everything that's related to people, right? Male open businesses related to things, and that might be a little bit of problematic. So I left economics, but as we say, you can leave economics, economics cannot leave you. So I wanted guys to give you some macroeconomic view of what is happening. I just thought that there are some really interesting numbers that about 2 billion people worldwide are overweight, which is 30% of population. And at the same time, we have around 1 billion people who are hungry, which is 11% of population, right? So we have some problems interested. Then we all like to shop, right? I'm sure that lots of us are enjoying what we call fast fashion of H&M. Some of us maybe enjoy luxury products by Burberry and so on. So guess what? These are the merchandise that is trying to keep quiet the fact that, I have different data basically from 30 to 50%, as much as 30 or 50% of merch is being destroyed. So, the point is that the way how our economy works is basically rewarding profits, but much less impact. What I hear even today that lots of us women basically thinking about impact, right? So how do we create this kind of balance that basically the world desperately needs, right? Before we move on, I just wanted to give you a little bit again statistic that the global entrepreneurship is becoming family as well, not just masculine. And there are some research that you can basically Google just to get inspired. Countries like US, Australia, Germany, France are leaders in terms of when it goes to family entrepreneurship. As I live in the United States, I'm happy to say that almost 40% of business owners right now in America are families. So let's look at this picture. I love some of the quotes. Who knows who is Alibaba.com? Where is he from, guys? Who knows? China, okay. Okay, I love one of his quote, opportunities lie in the place where the complaints are, right? So basically when you try to find that super great idea about business, so you have to ask yourself, what is the problem I'm trying to resolve? Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, people don't care about what you say, they care about what you build. One of my favorite quotes as well. Elon Musk, I could either watch it happen or be part of that. Beautiful, very inspirational man, beautiful quotes. What is wrong with this picture? There are no women, yeah? So I fixed it. So, 4 Indian women featured in Forbes' 100 most powerful women in the world list. That's a breaking news. Woo! Do you guys know any of that? Because I see that most of women are here from India. Yeah, do you know any of these ladies? Anyone? Because I have to admit, I'm just learning about them as well. So the problem is that we need role models, right? I am absolutely impressed by, and I'm sorry if I don't pronounce that right, the name Nirmala Sitharaman. I'm sorry if I don't spell it right. So this is your new finance minister. I thought this is amazing because, guys, finance world is absolutely totally dominated by men, because I am, trying to make it in finance world, and I have to admit, this is absolutely male-driven game. So I am very much impressed. I would love you to follow her, Google her. I don't know, I'm sure that she probably has Twitter. Then we have another lady, Roshni, actually 3 other ladies, entrepreneurs, and Kiran Mazumdar-Shah. She is the first generation entrepreneur, which I think is the hardest. I think other 2 women, I think one is run from the family business, another husband. But, as you know, when the husband is a partner, this is a bad thing to do. I was talking at lunch another day with a very young woman, in probably early 20s. In Los Angeles. She said, oh, Victoria, what should I do? What should I do? How can I succeed? I'm like, hey, listen, how about getting a husband? He's your mentor and a business partner. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting old. I would never say that just 5 or 10 years ago. But Kiran, I think she's a first generation entrepreneur. So again, I am learning about this for the past few days when I started to get ready for the steep. So I definitely would love you guys to, to follow this wonderful ladies in your wonderful country. Again, just a little bit, as I say, economics, I can leave economics. Economics cannot leave you. So just a few numbers again to get inspired by. 274 million of women. This is basically, Russia has around 140 million population. This is almost like, 2 big Russias. So that's how many of us. This is pretty inspiring. In India, there are, from, the total population of entrepreneurs, only 10% women. Again, to compare it with the US, it's 39%. But definitely there is a huge growth, and from what I heard today, I'm absolutely inspired, and I can only imagine how hard it is, and why is it hard, right? I honestly think that one of the, I'm sure you know all these reasons. I just wanted to give a big picture to reflect on, but I honestly think that actually 2 things. It's business is driven by male type of rules, right? And especially with the consulting, maybe not so much, but when I started my conference business, I realized that it is a war. And as you know, that soldiers are in a war, male. Right, and soldiers are not supposed to have empathy. And then, for example, I had a war with my, competitors literally, and when they started me to troll me on social media, and I was so pissed and angry, and then my boyfriend actually said, well, Victoria, come on, just sleep on it. You'll feel better. And I woke up next morning, and with the horror, I realized that I feel sorry for the guy. And I was just, wow, this is, is empathy is good for business or bad? I still don't know, honestly. But I know that empathy is, even like psychologists say, is more applicable to women than as opposed to, men. And so how do you compete in this situation? I'm still trying to find this balance. But one more thing I wanted to share with you, I would never share this, in a not woman-focused conference. It's like between us girls, what is holding us back? I think we are really, really focused too much on how to look, what to wear, as opposed as educating ourselves, reading some intelligent books, intelligent articles, actually maybe writing a book. I'm actually writing a book right now. I'm trying to finish it. It's absolutely amazing experience, but also very, very hard. And I just realized that there are hardly any books, business books, are written by women. So you guys, just think about that. Why? I literally was looking actually for some, role model for myself, and I honestly, I couldn't really find some. And some numbers are, very scary. If you guys, can look at some statistics, how much money women spend on beauty industry, how much money we spend on clothing, and so on. I basically, I use YouTube a lot for educational purposes, because I also teach entrepreneurial finance at one California university, and it's constantly popping up on YouTube, how to do makeup, how to be stylish, and this, and I wouldn't say that I'm completely immune by that. No, I'm clicking on that, obviously. But then I thought, God, what if we had some, intellectually stimulating things, popping up? Because I had a conversation the other day with with one of my guy friends. So he said that, oh, well, so what? You woman, you have all this freedom right now. You have, you can go whatever you want to. You can get any education you want. And there are still, hardly any woman who would want, Nobel Prizes, for example, right? And I was really doing some research, and I just saw that only 6%, basically, Nobel Prize would be given, to women at this point. So I thought maybe we should just, educate ourselves better and just get more intelligent, because or can you do both? Yeah, can you work on your external image, but also can we work also on internal image? When you look at woman-related magazines, Cosmopolitan and I don't know, Marie Claire, and what are they writing? Most of them, again, how we look, how we speak with our male partners, and so on. I'm like, come on, this is 21st century. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. Starting a company is easy these days. You probably keep hearing that, oh, in the internet age, everything is easy. Well, it is easy and it is not, because competition is huge. If we used to compete in our local markets, now basically once you are, you have a website, you also compete with the rest of the world. And I hate to say you guys, but we also compete with male. It really doesn't matter. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a woman, I like pink, I like pink. So, get some mercy. Well, no. And I noticed that the more successful you are in business, the more competition will come, and from the male, and they're pretty brutal. I mean, I see some women like, yeah, the stories. So my basically thing is that we definitely should start helping each other the way how male are helping each other, and I have a lot of guy friends. They constantly communicate, they constantly exchange ideas, they constantly like, oh, I know this guy, you should meet, oh, I know this person. So, they are connected. We should be connected, even there is nothing for you. I mean, I do believe in good karma, I mean, you help someone helps you, and I think that's how the world is getting better, because we all want, I'm even thinking sometimes, like, yeah, I want to make a world, better, a better place. Well, just help your friend, just help this lady who just sent you, cold email asking, hey, listen, do you know someone? Can you make introduction? Just like, small steps like that. So tomorrow, again, guys, it's it's 4:30. So tomorrow I'm going to speak more about financing tools. I'll just give you a bit of fun lecture, but highly interactive. I hate to lecture at people, honestly. I selfishly want to learn from other people as well. So, but my question, basically, sometimes I feel that, especially, women, like, oh, well, why do I even need a capital? So who can volunteer and tell me, why do we need actually capital? What would you say? Why do we need to actually raise capital? Can't we just, have, I don't know, like $1,000-2,000, we have our website, we start to look for clients, for users. So why on earth we actually need capital? Marketing, tell me about that. That's huge expense. What else? Mm-hmm. 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 Why do you think, okay, great, thanks. Why do you think some ideas fail?
So it's working.
Yeah, it's good.
Ideas fail first. What I have seen out of my personal experience, because I have been consulting startups for a long time, the people, when they are together and they are trying to create an idea and convert it into something which is tangible, what they don't account for are the market conditions actually, that they become aware as they actually start interacting with the market, which they have not accounted for. And they are never prepared for it. How we project in the financial world is, you have to never spend 100% of your capital, but 80% of it. 80 is your 100. 20 has always to be kept as a backup. And many organizations that I know, they fail to do that. They project higher that they can achieve. A typical case of biting more than you can chew. And that's why the greatest ideas, even because they were practically not well supported with doable, actionable plans and points, and taking in considerations all the fallbacks. So that has been a regular reason for people to fail, and one of them has been the paucity of fund. They think as we start working, funds will flow in. Doesn't happen like that. It's like it's a separate research and development, and a lot of time has to be spent to raise funds also. It's a separate intelligence in itself. It's just not a part of business. It's a separate intelligence in itself.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I wanted. Okay, just. I wanted also to give you this idea. What is a startup, right? Startup, actually, and the key word, think about this, is a temporary organization. It is a temporary organization that is looking for that sustainable, scalable business model. So you need finance, you need capital to be able to fail and then get up again and probably try a different business model. And that's what basically, again, I don't want to sound this gender agnostic person, but that's basically what male-driven businesses do. They can afford to fail and then get up and then try different model, different business model, different market, different products. So we hardly, like I'm a bootstrap entrepreneur myself, but that was by my choice, basically. I shouldn't complain. I had a couple of investors coming to me and I said, no, that's my baby. I'm not like giving any equity part of my pie. I do have regrets sometimes, because I just realized it is very, very hard to sustain, as you say, and especially to actually scale your business on a global level, for example, without additional capital. So, and I think that we should start thinking that the capital is not something that is impossible, it's not something that you don't need it. It is a necessary part of business. Again, if you want to be big, if you want to grow, if you want to make it global, for example. Yeah, if you find a restaurant in your local place, that's fine. But I'm actually talking particularly about innovation-driven enterprises. And I was told that I have just 3 minutes left. So thank you so much for listening to me. Again, I'm speaking tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I will be speaking particularly about what venture capital is, what crowdfunding is. There were some ladies that come in to me and ask how they go into United States marketplaces. So I'm going to cover this as well. So I hope to see you at 10 o'clock. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that's, I think, a parallel session in Victory 1. So catch Victoria there. And she since morning, we've been having these amazing initials, right? VS, Vanessa Serrano, VS, Victoria Silchenko.
Yeah.
So,
It's opposite of Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret.
Still VS, yeah.
Okay. I want to thank you, Victoria.
Thank you so much.
And I want to especially thank Victoria's mum. Right here with us. I saw since morning Victoria was diligently translating every session and every speaker's speech for her mother. So thank you so much. I try to learn a bit of different languages. I promised to the other VS in the morning that I will learn a bit of Spanish. Oh, gosh, I got to learn a bit of Russian too now. Okay, so
Moscow is waiting for you.
thank you.
Привет.
Thank you so much. It's amazing to have sisters all over the world and sisters flying from all over the world via 3 countries to be here today with us in order to share the gifts that they have to share. As I said, Victoria's filling a very big chunk, missing piece in our whole conversation about entrepreneurship, which is startup finance. So do catch her and do stay in touch with her. She has a lot to share with all of us.
As I say, if I don't know the answer to the question, I always know people who can answer you, and the same in terms of referring, people, again, male and woman. I definitely think that we should be able to unite. Again, I think that it's all about personalities, and we need more maybe like feminine-related features and empathy, loyalty, and so on, because the world, I think, cries for that. But by the way, the world is much better today if you think about that than 100 years ago. So on the bright side.
Thank you. Here's to a brighter future for all, and may all women be empowered by more financial muscle. And here's to Victoria for helping us do that. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for Victoria, please.
And on that note, we'd like to present to Victoria Selenko. On behalf of the All Ladies League at the Women Economic Forum, we present to Victoria the award of the Woman of the Decade in Entrepreneurial Fundraising and Leadership.